everyone, and welcome to Tap Into Your Creativity. Today is Wednesday, September 9th. I can't believe we're already in September. This is absolutely crazy. I am so excited to introduce to you our artist for today, Paula Valenzuela. She's a woman from Chile that lives in San Francisco right now and works in the Bay Area. So I'm super excited for you to meet her, and she will join us any minute, hopefully. And I want to tell you that Labor Day weekend for me was really nice. I had such a great time here in San Diego. I took the day off for me for the first time in a long time, so I had a great week. I'm bringing in Paula right now for you to listen to her and meet her. She is an incredible friend now. Hi, Paula. How are you?
Very good. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I'm so happy that you're here joining us today. This is a true pleasure for me to have you as part of my army of artists and for you to join me and tap into your creativity project. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's great to be here. It's a very strange morning here in the Bay Area. It's dark. Actually, it feels like it's like being at night. And it's 10 a.m. and because of the fires, everything is completely dark.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Unbelievable. I'll show you around when I show you the video.
Yeah.
A view of the bay, and it feels like being at 9 p.m.
Oh my God. So are the fires near you?
No, not near. They're more in the north, in the south, but there are also fires going on in Oregon, and I think you cannot smell the smoke, but I think it's going above the clouds and the fog, so it's very strange. Strange times.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Strange times all around. 2020 just keeps us on our toes. That's for sure. So Paula, please tell us a little bit about who you are, and we talked that you're in the Bay Area, but talk to us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so, well, I'm from Chile, and that's why I have this accent. We're talking about accents. I moved to the Bay Area 7 years ago. I had lived here before, and also I was born in Chile, and in 2001 I came to the US to study. I study psychology. I've always done art all my life. I learned from great teachers, but always art was kind of my hobby, my private thing that I will do. I will spend a lot of time doing it, and I love it. But it was more like my thing. I will participate in shows, local shows, but I never took it as a professional career. So I studied psychology. I became a clinical psychotherapist, and then I moved here in 2001 to San Francisco to work at UCSF. I used to work with Latinas on the prevention of depression, or another field. And then I moved also. I live in Berkeley. I study public health there. And then after that, with my husband and my 2 children at the time, we moved back to Chile for another 6 years. And then my kids were little, so I went back to my painting. I used to go to the studio that I had grew up, basically. And I will go here and there, but I never spent a lot of time painting. And it was just something that I tried to do little by little. And then 7 years ago, in 2013, we came here again to the Bay Area, planning to stay 1 year. And I told everybody, no, we're coming back. This is a 1 year thing. And here we are. So
it's really amazing, and you're in an incredible building. I have a lot of friends in the building that you're in.
Yes.
So when I found out that you were in that, I was like, oh my God, what a small world that you're actually in this building. So Did you start in that building right away?
No, so the story was like really little by little. I was here planning to stay 1 year. So I started like studying things related more to mindfulness, to work with pregnant women. And then I had the house that we were renting had a small studio that I opened the door. I look at this incredible space, and it took me like 6 months just to take the first step into the studio. And then I start like painting and trying to reconnect to this passion that I have that was very like hidden in a way. And I joined the Creative Visionary program with Nicholas Wilton, who's here at the building. And this is an online program. And that, I think that brought me back to me as an artist, to trust myself, to like connect with the language. Like I had no idea what I was doing, to go back to that practice. And one day, well, I did this in 2018, and then I met some of the artists that were here in the building. So I came to their open studios. Here we do artists at work, kind of an open studio, many times a week we used to before.
So you opened the whole building, and the studios where it's like an art crawl of the building. Yeah.
So I was walking by one day. Sorry. I was walking around watching the studios, and then I saw this amazing place, and I started just walking around, and there was this artist talking with someone else. And so I stay, and she was explaining she wanted to rent part of the studio, and I just stood there, and I was thinking, what am I doing here? I should just leave. I live far from here. I live like 50 minutes away.
Oh, so that's far. Yeah.
It's far, yeah, and it's a long commute. But then, like, part of me just, I just stood there. I couldn't move. And then, so she explained.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, that was up.
No, that's okay.
And she kept talking about the studio. And then when this other woman left, I said, well, I think I want to be here. But I have never thought about it. And I think I thought I wanted to move to a larger studio. I had a small space in my house, and I was painting small, and I wanted to go larger, but it was a huge step for me. And then we started talking, and after, I know, a few 20 minutes, she said, well, if you want, the studio is yours. So that's how it happened. And then I freak out, and then
Were you, so does the therapy and psychology informs your paintings, and were you always an abstract, non-objective artist?
No, I started painting very figurative at the beginning. Like when I was 15, 16, I would love to do these drawings with pastels, but I've always tend to but it was much more figurative through the years. It was abstract, but with a lot of references. But I love that creating textures and layers, and I will try to do that without much knowing how to do it, just experimenting. And I always use like these earthy colors. Something happened. The notification, something happened, and I keep getting.
Oh, you keep getting them. Weird. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But I always was I've always been interested in abstract, sometimes with more reference to things, but it's very related to, I think, to my psychology background. I bring it without even knowing or realizing, but it's very about like my internal experiences or concepts that I'm attracted to. For example, the other day I was thinking, I always talk, or even the titles, I think I title so many paintings with the same thing, and then I realized, I already used this because it's in my mind. And this is for example, transitional space, and that's a term that I learned in psychology and psychoanalysis probably. But I feel that this like painting to me is very related to therapy. It's like bringing what is hidden, what is unconscious. It's like realizing what, like it connects me. When I'm painting, sometimes most of the time in silence, I'm in this space, which is like it's like an intermediate space. Yeah. That's why I call it transitional, between like the reality and between this daydreaming, and I love that. I love that space. And I think therapy also in a way is something like that. It's this space in between, like your real life, your private life, or more unconscious. And painting to me is in the same, in like it's very similar in many ways.
Yeah, for sure. And so where you were in Santiago, is that where you?
Yes, I'm from Santiago. Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know Chile and Santiago, it is one of the most beautiful places there is. It's just, you have the mountains, and you also have some sort of change of seasons a little bit.
Yeah.
But how was moving into the United States for you?
Well, this time I wanted to move. I love this area very much, but it's always a thing. You're an immigrant. You are not from this country, even though I love the culture, like the geography. But I also relate to this in between. You're being, I think, an immigrant. You're never. I feel that after living almost 20 years in this country, back and forth. I'm in between. Here, I feel from another country. My culture, like my language, I feel is. And then when I'm there, at the same time, I'm not fully from there. So it's this strange in between state.
Yeah, I struggle with that myself. I moved to the United States 28 years ago, and coming from Mexico City, which is one of the biggest, largest cities in the world, moving into Minneapolis, it was a huge adjustment. Not only, like you said, the traditions and the language and everything, but the weather. For me, the weather, I've never been so cold in my life, and I'm still so cold, when I live there. And it's this in-between that we're not from here, not from there, but we are from here and from there.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think that we breathe and we take with us our experiences, and then hopefully we can transmit that in our work.
Yeah.
And so how has Corona now affected you, or not?
It has, and I think, well, the fact of being an immigrant and being away from my family, that was hard. I was very lucky. I got here, but I was in Chile. I was in Santiago, and I came back 2 days before the shelter-in-place started.
Oh,
so
wow.
That was a huge gift for me, because if not, I would have gone crazy. So yeah, I feel that half of my mind is here, half is there. I'm worried about my family here. Like, there's always, I feel like I'm divided in a way. And the same thing happens there. When I'm there, I'm thinking, oh, like this life here and this life there.
Yes.
Yeah,
I totally relate. Yeah, it's a weird feeling, but I totally relate.
And I think I've talked this with so many people, and it doesn't matter how long you are. It's like your heart is here and there, your mind, and it is what it is.
Yes. And were you able? So you were sheltered in place. So were you able to get to your studio? Probably not.
No, at the beginning, no. For a few months, no. The building was closed, so I started. It was hard to me to start working on new things. I was worried about Chile, so I did, for example, this booklet, bringing my art, and I wrote things like, I was thinking, how could I help from here to the people, especially older adults that are going to be locked for so many months. In Santiago, we had a huge isolation. I mean, they were in lockdown for almost 12 weeks, I think. Very restricted. So I started like doing things like that, like sending to all my contacts, all my friends, like bringing more probably the psychology aspect or public health. And then for a while, I didn't do any art. And then I start like thinking I want to, like what I'm experiencing, I want to remember this. It's not just me, but what I'm sensing, what I'm seeing, there's so much suffering and loss that I want to include that in my work and like to mark this time. I want to remember, I want my kids to remember when they're all like, this was this year that we will probably be talking the rest of our lives. In the good and the bad. I mean, I've always been trying to like, okay, how can we bring some meaning to this experience? How can we connect, even that we are apart, even like trying to experience it, even if we are in isolation, because.
Right.
So I made this series about collective grief. I work, these are small paintings, mixed media paintings on paper that I did, trying to bring that feelings, that what I was seeing, not just about me, but that's the part like the collective. I felt that I'm like sensing this, in a way receiving this, and I'll just put, this is probably my experience, but this is also a collective experience. And putting the idea is to bring all the losses. Like I feel that we have been losing so much. Not just some people, of course, have lost dear ones, but there's also lost jobs and homes and dreams, and there's all sort of loss. I mean, and I think it's important to acknowledge that and to name it and say, okay, this. So then we can move forward. People move forward, and
but for sure, I think that through our art, we are more connected than ever. And as human beings, I think so too. You know, at least in the beginning of this whole thing, we were all in the same plane. We were all sheltered in place. We were all, you know, in one same capacity in here. And, you know, and so I think that it is important to record it. And so you are going to show us around, and so we can see what you're talking about, your latest collection, and then you can tell us everything that I'm so excited.
Let me show you first. This is.
Oh my God, Paula, that's insane.
10:15. I hope you can see it from this is the bay. This is the bay from, I mean, the view from the water.
It really looks like nighttime.
It's nighttime. It looks like an apocalyptic day. And, well, this is the studio. I share it with two more artists. This is my area here.
Wow.
Let me know if I'm moving too fast.
No. We're going to go from area to area. Right now, you're just giving us the whole sense of everything. I'm going to turn off the comments and then turn them back on so we can actually enjoy everything that you are showing us. But
so
I think that there's something to say also about your black background.
Yes, it was here. I love it.
Yeah, it pops the art a lot, right? Yeah. So can you talk to us a little bit about that collection?
Yeah, so this is these are all small works on paper.
So were they quick sketches? Did you put a lot of thought through it, or were they just an automatic feeling that you had?
I usually work in a series, so I work with 3 or 4, and I start. Some have collage, but some they are made with ink and acrylic.
There's something on your audio that I can't hear you for some reason.
Let me see. Maybe I'm covering.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I was covering with my hand. I have some videos on Instagram on how I did them, but it was really fast. I didn't want to think about it too much. It was more. Let me show. I paint by layers. So let me show you this.
Oh yeah.
So this has collage on top, and then I put all the black materials that I could find, like oil sticks and graphite and charcoal. and I tend to use certain symbols. I'm very into these archetypal symbols, and I use spirals a lot. And I make this sign.
Wow.
So,
You have so much, you know, transparencies, and your mark making is incredible. And they also have like almost this encaustic
yeah,
feel to it, but they're not.
they're not yet. I know that's on my list to learn. I was watching last week.
With Paula Roland,
Yes,
she's the master of
no.
masters.
And I tend to recreate that encaustic thing, but
Yeah.
using cold wax or pouring medium. And here, I think here at the building we cannot do encaustic.
Yes.
But
Um,
I that's where I try to go. And
So
this,
are they on paper or canvas, or did you, wow, that looks like that transparency that I'm
yeah,
talking about. It looks encaustic to me.
this one looks completely like encaustic, and this is not from this collection. I just have it here. It's from my previous one. But
Okay.
all those cracks are different mediums. I use pouring medium or gel gloss that then it cracks.
Okay.
And then I put like a layer of a thin painting. So these are accidents. I have no idea if this will work or not.
So then it's when you want to recreate, you have no idea.
Yeah, no, I never know. And I learned actually like these were accidents, and in huge paintings that I put all this layer of mediums and it didn't work, and I said, well, this is part of the painting then.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I love because it brings like those like different dimensions, like, and I do my paintings by layers. This one is the
Yeah,
only
that
one that
one is that on canvas
this one,
or
no,
on board?
this is on panel, and this is very different from what I usually do. But I love it, especially because of that. I did a workshop a few months ago with a sewing machine, so I got crazy doing this on paper.
Oh, I love that. And you recreated your figures with the stitching in there.
Yes.
Wow. It
So these
almost,
are,
it
and this
feels
is
like
another.
very,
These are
very, yeah. Go back to that one and can you go a little further so we can see the whole piece?
yeah. Let me move across because there's a
Okay, there
couple
we
in
go.
yeah.
So those little red peekaboos that you have are
Yeah.
very important to that piece.
Yes.
It almost grounds the piece, and it's like a repetition of your geometrical shapes that you have. And but it's interesting how small they are and how effective and important they are in that piece.
And I love that piece that is not, it's like different. It came out from an, I don't know, another is more simple, is collage, big pieces. These are bags like I don't know, like paper craft bags.
Yeah.
And then I made this little tool also that has these stitches.
Yeah. And so so did they inform each other while you were working with them? Did you have an idea where you wanted them to go to, or you just
This one, the big one, you mean?
just all of them?
No, I had no idea, but I know that I wanted them to be related. But I started doing, like, I think I started all at the same time, and by layers. So I used this rust, like this brownish. I'll show you later. Like these are, I try to start with a lot of fluidity, and we start with mark making, and this has sumo ink. Sumo ink is the name.
Yes.
Sumo ink and the rust,
Yes.
and like,
Yes. And we're
and
going to
then
talk about the rust. So don't
yes,
leave us, because
yes.
Paula is going to make a demo for us using this incredible thing that she has created. And it's a great tip for you guys to use. So, so this is a whole different time in your life, I would assume.
Yes.
Yes.
And these are, let me show you that these are this painting. This has some of those layers. I build them. Let me go closer.
Yeah.
This I started at the beginning of the year, and it has layers and layers. It was upside down. I started with red. So it has a lot of red and green that are not colors that I tend to use.
Yes.
So that's why I did them. So I did a family of paintings. I have 3 in this, that I started this way, and then they usually change a lot. Oof.
Yeah, and you have that repetition of it almost looks like, like I don't know, was it an astronomical or something,
Yes,
right?
exactly. So it all started with this painting. That's why I put it here.
Oh,
I did a series. I'll go closer and then I'll go further.
okay.
I did this series called Constellation last year.
Okay.
And it was in relation about like how I usually tend to do this earthy and look at the minerals, but then I was like, how is this connected to the skies? And I start getting into that area.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, it almost feels atmospheric in a way.
I just realized it's upside down. My
Oh,
signature.
really?
Yeah.
You would only know that.
I know. I saw my signature at the bottom. I'm like, oh my God.
I think you did too much cleaning.
Yeah. And it has this rust. So it all started with this painting, and I did it in red, and I love that it's red, and I don't tend to use it. And this one informed many of the other paintings from the collection that I did later.
It's so interesting. Red is a really hard color to use. So it must be used with respect. Red is something that I always have a lot of respect, for other artists, that they use it. And when you use it in the right way, it can be so effective. So, so I guess you were very effective in using the red.
And these are a lot of the 12 by 12 paintings that I did, especially at the beginning of the CVP. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
the CVP.
Yeah.
So these are, and I'll show you actually the one that the light here. This is the painting that we will be
selling, you guys. So if you guys want to purchase this particular painting that Paula is donating, whatever money donation that you give to Feeding America, Paula will then send you this beautiful piece of artwork to your home. So 100% of the proceeds go to Feeding America. The only thing you need to show us is your receipt. We're asking for $350 to start with. Please make a donation to Feeding America and show us that, and DM me or Paula, and we'll get you this beautiful artwork into your home, and you can be part of our army of artists. And I can tell you now that each dollar that we have donated to Feeding America has gone a long way. We are feeding thousands and thousands of people in need right now. So this is amazing. I love that, Paula. It's so beautiful. Again, it has that encaustic feel.
This one has, because this one has also a cold wax finish. So this is a piece that started with collage. Sometimes I don't even remember what they have, but I can see I did collage, and then because I built them by layers, so I put these mediums, and then I start over, and at the end I did a cold wax finish. So that's why it has like
it does. And oh, look at that mark making is amazing. Wow, it has so many layers.
It has so many. I don't know how many layers it has.
Yes, I love that. Wow. So do you frame them yourself, or
oh yes,
what do you do?
Yes, I frame them. I order these frames from Canvas Place.
Yeah.
And let me show you one. And they come like this. Oh, look how dark it is.
I can't. It's so
yes,
it's so weird.
Yeah. These are the frames. They come like this.
So you lay the canvas or the board in there?
Yeah, so you put these are for, you can get some for canvas. These are for panels.
Okay.
So I put, for example, I have these wood panels like that.
Yeah.
And I just glue them.
Oh, and there you go. It's
there you go.
fantastic.
And
It's
I
so
do the same.
easy and
It's
beautiful
very
and ready
easy.
to go.
Yes, and you can buy for bigger panels or canvases, but these are, and then I paint the frames and I put the varnish. It's like the same treatment as the painting.
Yeah.
So,
And so let's go back to those 12 by 12s that you have there. And so all of those are on boards, right?
Yes, they're all on boards.
Yeah.
From different times. That was at the beginning of CVP. These have also many layers. This has collage more in yellow.
Yeah.
And it has some sand and paste.
It has that quality of, your language is in there somehow. It's coming through. And it's almost that struggle that wants to come out. It's like the struggle that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And,
these were great. For me, these panels were a great way to to know what is my language. Like, for example, this shape that I have here.
Yeah.
This is called, I think this painting is called Coming Back to the Origins. And I titled it that way because of this. You see this shape?
Yeah.
This is a shape that I used to do when I was like 20 years, 19 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I use it all the time. It was a thing that I do. Like when I was not paying attention, I have paintings with this that at that time, they represent like mountains to me.
Oh,
and
wow.
I realized when I was doing this that I start making the same symbol and I make it here. And I think that evolved into the marks that I'm making right now, those more constellation things.
Yes.
But this is how it started.
Oh, wow. I love that painting. It has, and also there's something to say about working with boards, because I think you could be very rough with them. You can really dig into them and make marks within the board and use that as part of the painting.
Yeah, actually this one, I carve into the.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Carving into
this
the
was
board.
super fun. I'll show you the tool that I use for that. I have no idea how to say that in English. It's something
in English.
I think I don't even know in Spanish either, but it's something that goes in the sink. But it's perfect for those kind of marks.
Yeah, it really is.
This one also has this carving, and yeah, these are fun. And I love this because like.
So does that have cold wax at the end?
Yes,
too?
these all have cold wax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell. I like that feeling. It has a really beautiful texture.
And then this one, like the same mark that I was talking about, for example, is repeated here.
Oh, yeah.
And this is on panel, and it has like the same, like this
So do you use, when you're starting your panel, do you use acrylic paints or do you use oil paints or
no, I use acrylics, and sometimes I use oil sticks.
Okay.
In between, and sometimes at the beginning, and I cover that with gel gloss. And I know you cannot put oil before the acrylic.
Correct.
But in this case, I don't mind because I sand and I scratch it, so I like that that the painting will crack.
Interesting.
So, for example, all of these, probably this I think this was sanded, and it has some of the oil stick and some of the acrylics. I like the mix of both.
Yeah, I like that too.
This also, for example, this mark is an oil stick, but it's after the initial layers in acrylic.
Yeah, and look at how bright it looks.
Yes, that's what I love. I started painting in oils, but millions of years ago, and then I went with acrylics. But so now many people here in the building, they use oil sticks, and I just discovered them.
Interesting.
This
Yeah.
is, and that's
They're very vibrant, extremely vibrant. I love that the colors on the oil sticks.
this is, let me try
Oh,
to, uh, this is, has
wow.
a lot of, I'm moving back. This one is called Del Cielo a la Tierra. I think this is the only one that I've named in Spanish. I don't know why.
Yeah, I have a lot entitled in Spanish too. And I really, really love what you have the swirl on the bottom. It looks like
Yeah.
it could be at the bottom of the sea almost, you know?
Yes, this I did them with, when I went back to painting, I started doing fluid painting, which I've never done before. And
Okay.
I did it, especially, I love this part, look.
Yes. Wow.
So I did this pouring and I started looking online how to do it and how to get those bubbles. And I wanted to, I especially did it because I was so lost. I didn't know how to start, that I thought that starting in with this fluid, it will take me like out of my rational mind. And then I would have to react to whatever I was getting. So that's how it started. And
Oh, I see.
and I did some resin work. So usually sometimes, I mean,
That has resin? No.
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 This one doesn't. But it
No.
has. So these are pieces of fluid, a pouring that I did. That's why you have all that. You cannot do that on purpose. It just happens when
Right,
you are
right,
pouring,
right.
and it has many layers of pouring medium and then gel gloss, and it has some of that gold. Like sand and these marks on top.
Yeah, it is fabulous. I mean, the whole piece as a whole is it has so much. It's so rich.
It
You
was
know,
very
it's
fun.
yeah,
And this
it
is the
has a
one
lot of movement because of the fluidity and then it grounds it with the circles that you have.
yeah, and these are the
So
cracks that also were accidents really. Like that's what so this informed me for the later paintings that okay, this is when you put too much medium, you get these cracks, sometimes you get, sometimes you don't, you have no idea. But they can become something interesting too.
yes, yes, because the pigmentation or the color absorbs it in a very different way.
Yeah.
So, so you do get those cracks and you get that, you know, rustic feel. Um, so yeah, it is fabulous.
That's another one. This is more of a collage that I did about music. This is inspired by that Lady Gaga song from last year. I don't
Oh,
remember. Tell Me Something, Girls. Yeah, so I did that. I was obsessed with that song and my daughters too. So that painting is because of
oh
that.
my gosh, I love that.
And this is the thing that I'm trying to move forward. I mean, to move back. That's another painting. That like called the space in between with that light is a little
Yeah,
hard to see. But
yeah,
also it has collage and all these many layers, and it
yeah,
has carving and all that.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, when you use your limited palette, it's very strong, but also when you start using some color, you can
Yes,
be very effective with that too. So,
this
um,
was going to be a pink and yellow painting, and well, it turned something in between, but that was the
the
initial. It
idea,
was much
yeah.
more yellow. And let me show you around. So this is Leslie Allen's space. She's been
Okay.
here in this studio for 30 years.
Wow,
Yeah, she's
that's
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's so nice. That's amazing. I mean, that whole building and the space is beautiful.
Yeah, here we have huge ceilings.
Yeah, so cool.
And then I'm going back to so this is where my space starts. Really.
And it's still so dark outside. It's
Yes.
so weird.
No, it hasn't changed at all. Probably, I think it feels now darker than at 8 a.m.
Wow.
These are these are collage, and this looks a lot like encaustic.
Yes, it
But
does. It has that quality. Did you finish it again with cold
no,
wax?
this one has something different that I learned at a workshop. It has pouring medium, and then I put a matte varnish, and
Oh.
is the effect is
What's the pouring medium that you use?
what brand?
Yeah, what kind is it just like
Golden or Liquitex, I think,
yeah,
or both.
yeah. Is it the satin medium?
No, no, it's the gloss. I think it comes in
Oh,
gloss.
gloss.
But
Okay.
then when you put the matte
The
varnish
matte.
on
Yeah.
top, that's how you get for. And I think it
Yeah.
depends a little bit on the brand. They're not the same, but this is just that it doesn't have any cold wax.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, I almost fell.
Oy, be careful. Don't fall on me,
Yeah.
please.
So I made a series of 6 of these.
Those feel very geometric to me.
Yes, they
Very
are.
different feel
Yeah.
from the
Yeah,
other
from
work.
the others. Yes, this was I did this at a workshop, and it was like examples of how to use the and put the layers of papers and then remove them.
Yeah.
These are this is a monotype, and also this is a collage from this collection from the collective tree.
Yeah.
And this
Wow.
is the largest painting that I've done so far. I haven't finished it. I started in all sort of blues. I wanted to bring the blues to my paintings since I'm so close to the water, and it's still there. I'm looking.
How big is it?
This is
Maybe 5 by 5?
6 by 6 probably.
Oh, okay.
So
Wow.
let me move back.
It's interesting that you have the wood shape on the bottom right, that it's a circle.
Oh yeah,
and then it repeats itself into the painting. So, yeah, so I can see where you are getting some inspiration, or even if you don't see it, it's kind of right there, right? Yeah, and even your rocks, your stacked rocks.
Oh yeah, I love this.
Yeah. I see that.
Here.
Yes,
I love them.
yes, it's
I
great.
have them everywhere. I give them as presents to my friends. I think it's such an amazing. And then it's very simple. It has like that thing, and then
For little kids.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yes, yes.
And I have
I love
a
that.
collection of rocks or crystals.
Yes, yes.
And this
good energy. Good energy all around.
Good energy.
For sure. Yes.
And this is the wall of paintings that I'm working right now.
Yes.
So those two with the red and the green, get closer. These are from the same family of paintings that I was mentioning before.
Yeah, yes.
So I'm still looking at them. This has also so many layers and I have changed it upside down. It's been like 10 different paintings already.
Yeah, it's great.
And this is oil stick, I think. Yes, it is stick. And then I put And
I love it's you can see all the stencils and mark making, and it looks like it's been you've worked at it, and
this
you
is
keep
bubble.
adding.
Yeah.
So let's go now to your table, because we only have like 15 minutes left.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my gosh. I know, I can't believe it. I love that one.
See, I'll switch this. Look how dark it is still.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't even. That painting is beautiful, by the way. That one, the big one.
That I'm looking at it.
You're looking. Are you working on that?
Yes, I started with my daughter. She helped. She came one day.
Oh, I love that.
And then I haven't done much to it, and I'm loving it as it is.
Yeah, that's amazing. How old is your daughter?
I made this with Alicia. She's 13.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we have here?
So this is a piece that I was hoping to finish for the release of my collection, but I didn't. And this is it's on paper, and it has I already started with graphite. It has oil sticks, and then I cover everything. So I have been like adding paper and then peeling and then putting a varnish and just see what happens to move
What
it.
kind of paper are you using?
You know, I don't know which. I usually use the Arches paper, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know this one.
Okay.
And this, for example, is something that happened. This was another accident that I like because I put black oil stick.
Yeah.
And then when you put acrylic on top and then you start peeling, you get this like more matte color, which I love.
Interesting. Yeah, I love that.
And these are things that just happen.
You have to learn and do it, and it's a trial and error kind of thing.
And
yeah.
And I was going to show you the rust that we have been talking about.
Yes.
You?
Yes.
This I learned from a friend, from Rachel Davis, and she learned it also from another artist. And
yeah, that's what's the best thing about this. We're sharing all of our secrets, which are not secrets. We are being very generous with each other.
Yeah, I think that is very important. And I've learned that as I have been learning from other artists, and that they share. I mean, to share within a community, and it's not that you will be copy or anything. It's like there's so many things that you
That's
can
how
do.
I feel. The more we can give, the better.
Yeah, for sure. So this is the rust. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It has a disgusting smell and color. And this is made with white vinegar. I didn't have white vinegar here to show, but really, and this one I made months ago. And I use white vinegar, can be any, the cheapest white vinegar, and steel wool.
And then you just let it be.
Just let it be for weeks, for months, and that's it.
Wow. And look at that beautiful color that you can use. So how do you apply that color?
So, and then this is important. I'll show you. And you have to have this peroxide.
Okay.
So
because the peroxide actually activates it, right?
Yes, activates it. And I start using this. Well, I like these kind of colors. I tend to use I use this color a lot.
Yes.
As a glaze, and I mix it with black.
Yes.
The quinacridone, I don't know how to say, the gold color. And this gives me the same idea, but it's more matte. This is more, it has more of a gloss finish.
Yes.
So for example, let's do this. This is how I started the other the other works. And this is really just putting everywhere. It smells like vinegar.
So you also have to use a mask, not only to be outside, but to work.
And from here, sometimes I start moving it around. This is my favorite tool. I use this more than brushes, more than anything. So for example,
it's a rubber.
It's like a silicone wedge, I think it's called.
Yes.
And they sell them at art stores.
Yes.
So for example, here,
wow.
Excuse me, that. So it's like the same idea of this other color, the quinacridone.
Yeah.
But it has like a darker, I think, like, it has less
it does. It's a very rich color, and it's a very different way of applying it. And I'm sure the way it stays and it absorbs is very different as well.
And so sometimes, for example, I'll come with this or with a sponge and just make the marks, or I'll come with a paper towel
And absorb that, yeah.
Absorb that a little bit.
And then you spray it after you're done?
Sorry, I forgot the most important part. And then when you're, after that, you have to put some of the peroxide on. I should have done this before.
Yeah.
Before I forgot.
I'm like, how is that getting activated? But I guess now it is. And it's important that you do that, guys, so it actually stays. Otherwise, it wouldn't dry the same. So
no, and what I've learned at the beginning, I will do this, and then
Oh, I think you got a text or something. I'm gonna put back. Turn on comments now. So if you have any, go ahead. There we go.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I've learned, after this gets dry, you have to put some sort of a fixative. It can be a gel gloss or something that will separate this from other paintings. Because if not, what happens? If I put ink, then it will get activated again. So, for example, if you want one part with this and then with other, it will start mixing, and it will start mixing with all the colors.
Yeah.
And then you'll get all this brown thing.
Yeah, for sure. So, guys, if you have any questions, start asking Paula right now, because this is the right time to ask questions. Paula, if you, so once, let's say that you like that, then you put the medium, and then you start again with either acrylic or wax or oils or whatever your choice is.
Yeah, sometimes if I'm here, for example, now that it's wet, I could use this kind of material, like more dry, this is like this
pencil, charcoal, yeah.
And I could do marks, or I could go with, this doesn't matter, but it's more about the liquid acrylics. And this is like a chalk marker. And sometimes it's actually fun because it reacts in a different way.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is also one of my favorite. I discovered this a few months ago. This is a chalk marker.
Yeah.
So all those little triangles, I have been doing them with this.
With that.
Yes.
What was in your hand before? Was that one of your tools that you? Yeah.
This is graphite. How do you call this?
It's graphite?
Yes, graphite.
Compressed graphite?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from Blix, from the art store.
Okay. And by any chance, do you have that tool that you were carving into your, so you can show us what that looks like?
What is this? This is, how would you call this?
The bottom of the drain. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I found this the best place to find tools is the hardware store. So the way I would do this, I will start let me see if I can do this here. I will, just to get that shape, and comes in different size. Yeah. And then these are carving tools, and I will start carving like that.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Amazing. One question is, what drives you to create? Oh, I guess she got frozen. She'll get unfrozen in a minute. And she will be able to...
Disconnected. I don't know why I'm getting...
I don't know. But can we see your face now, Paula?
Oh, yes.
Can you switch it around? And one question is, what drives you to create?
Good question. I think, to me, like when I'm creating something or when I'm painting, I feel much more like connected, like it makes sense. Like it's a way for me also to say, okay, this is what's going on, this is what's happening with me. In a way, it's a selfish thing because it really helps me, but it also helps me to connect with others.
Yeah.
Like when I'm creating, I know that I'm in my best self in a way.
Well, and also I think doing therapy, you're connecting with that person, you're having that moment of intimacy. And I think we try and find that in our work, to be very intimate with our
Yes.
own work.
Yes.
And I think, you know, it has a correlation one with the other.
And it's a way, I always think, like, I think I read this in a book a long time ago, but it makes so much sense to, or at least what painting or creating something is a way to discover yourself. It's not that you're expressing yourself, you are too. But to me, it's more about the discovery. It's like, okay, connecting this thought with this, and like understanding, making sense of what is going around with me, with my community, what is around, like, it's yeah, I think it's connection. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
So last but not least, can you show us again the piece that you are going to be donating?
Yes.
So we can just talk about it for a minute before we leave you. So what Paula is going to be showing us right now is the piece that she will be donating for this project, which is incredible. You guys DM me, DM Paula, share and spread the love, and let's help people in need. And yeah, that's so incredible. I am so excited. People are asking if you work on an easel or a table or maybe on the floor.
I work everywhere. I work a lot on the floor, especially when I'm doing this rust and more liquid, and then some. But yeah, I would say the table and the floor even more than anything. No, I don't have an easel. Or sometimes I'll just put a stool and then the painting on top.
So for people that want to find you, Paula, where can we find you best? Where can they see your body of work?
My website just got a beautiful new website that I'm very excited about. And my website is paulavalenzuelaart.com. And in Instagram also I show a lot of my work. I'm trying to show, I love showing about the process and how I start painting, or sometimes how I mix different mediums.
Yeah. So I'm going to put all your information on this beautiful interview. Thank you so much for being part of this army of artists and for helping so many. And your tips were incredible. Your artwork is so inspiring. You're an inspiration to many, to myself to start with. So thank you so much, Paula. And
it was super fun.
Yes, we will see you super soon, everyone. We'll see you on Saturday. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.